Welcome, everybody, to an all-new episode of GVN Talk. This is going to be a very special episode. Not only do we have 150 different topics to get to, but we have a very special guest, young Deuces. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, you know, I'm feeling blessed and highly favored, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually came by you scrolling through my Twitter. You know how when it says follow topics, you were saying something about something, and I saw you and I was just like, all right, who's this? And then I clicked on it. You had the check next to you, so I'm like, okay, all right, he's official. Let me click on it. Checked out your YouTube. Again, I was saying in our pre-production, there's literally no one on this planet that you have not interviewed yet. And then you being a Bucks fan, you know, I don't know many people that come out and they're just like, yo, I'm a Bucks fan, you know, proud of it. So it was just a checklist of reasons why I needed to not only follow you, but have you on. But welcome, man.
No, thank you for having me, man. You know, it's one of those things. One, I love my city. You know, that's kind of like been my push. Being from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, there's not a lot of major names that come out. And so, you know, Giannis being who he is and as a person and as an athlete, you know, I kind of latched onto it like, oh man, Giannis is really, really dope. And, you know, he brought a lot of hometown pride back to it and everything like that. And then as far as like, you know, my interview series, you know, just being amongst this blurred community and just trying to make sure that I can leave my stamp on it, you know. For, you know, my podcast is called the Geek Set Podcast, the only podcast that blend hip hop culture and geek culture together. And, you know, the reason why we started this podcast is like much respect to a lot of the nerd properties that are out there, but I felt like they didn't look and sound like us. You know, I often tell people like when you think about like geek topics, like, you know what I'm saying, arguing Batman versus Superman, it sounds like barbershop talk amongst Black people. Like it sounds like arguing Jordan and LeBron. It's like it's right. Not the, well, let me tell you about this. And that's why I wanted to bring that, because I said when you look at the Black nerd, everybody instantly, well, not everybody, the media instantly thinks of Urkel. But a lot of them, a lot of us is not like that, you know? So it's like, I wanted to kind of be in that space and do that. And it was crazy because when we came up with the idea, you know, for those who do look it up and look at our logo and our name is based off of Dipset. And so instead of, you know, the money and the guns in the palms, you see the eagle with a PlayStation and an Xbox controller, and you see the geek and anime properties within our logo and everything. And we kind of wanted to have that, you know, that how Dipset, that movement that they had with hip hop, we wanted to have that in the blurred community. So it's been a really, really dope journey, man, because I've been meeting so many dope people. And when I interview people, that's what I shoot for. I say a lot of people, when they're on their promo run, you know, they're talking about what they're working on right now. But a lot of times you don't know that people are really, really geeks about something, right? You know, like the time when I got a chance to interview Van Lathan, everybody wanted to talk to him about checking Kanye West. But then me and him had a whole hour and 20-minute conversation about comic books and Spider-Man and Wakanda and everything like that. So it was like, that's what I always want. So when I interview people, I give them an opportunity to have that moment to geek out, don't have to worry about the regular promo run. And let's really get into, you know, that. And it led me to meet a lot of dope people.
Yeah, and that's why I appreciate not only having you, but that's why I appreciate the show that we're doing, is because we all do look the same. You know what I'm saying? We do come from a different stance on how we break down a lot of the geek culture. So yeah, like you said, it's truly special that we now don't have to wait for somebody to give us the opportunity to be us. We just take it, you know, we're just us, you know? So it's perfect, you know, it's a perfect time for it. But all right, let me introduce everybody else. And then I got something special to open the show with that I think is fun. But all right, next up, Dom. What's up, Dom?
Man, you know, chilling this Friday, long ass week. You know, I got the interview today with Pat Healy. For his new movie, We Need to Do Something, and it was interesting. He got some hate mail for, I don't know if anybody out there has seen Them, but he played an unsavory character, and he, you know, let me know like people wasn't feeling it. I mean, he did such a good job that you like. I told him, I was like, hey man, like you did such a good job that like I was like, I'm trying to fight you, man. Like what's good? So it was really interesting. He's a good dude.
I appreciate that because up until the Power Book 2 Ghost, if I ever saw that kid that plays Tariq on the street, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably just black out and just go crazy. So I can appreciate someone doing such a good job that you're like, yo, it's on site whenever I see you. Just whenever I see you. It's like, no, it was acting. It's like, no, I believed it. It was real. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I felt about the person who shot Bodie in The Wire. Like, Bodie was the guy.
Right? It's one of those things where you take it personal, man. You take it real personal. It's just like, look, I'm so petty. It took a while to get used to what's his name being Ben Affleck's Alfred, because he voiced Scar. I'm like, nah, you killed Mufasa. Nah. I still got more time to heal. I can't just be, you know what I'm saying? Nah, man, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Same thing with J.K. Simmons. I don't know if y'all was a fan of Oz, but he's always Schillinger in Oz, but he's in everything, and he's so good. Like, he's in Spider-Man. Like, he plays such a great, like, he's just so dope. But it was like, man, I remember everything you did in Oz vividly, and it was bad.
See, my beef with him was the music movie that he did, where Humble was playing the drums.
Yeah,
and I've never backed off wanting to play an instrument more than after I left that movie. I ain't playing these damn drums. Not if it does that. Next up, Trevon. What's up, Trevon?
Yeah, man, I'm just happy to be here. Can't wait to talk about these topics. Yeah, can't wait to maybe get and talk about this Eternals trailer a little bit more. I love that, man.
Yeah, we broke it down. We broke it down a lot. I still have no idea what the hell their marketing team was thinking. Why would you release at 3 a.m.? Who the hell did you think was up at 3 a.m.?
Why is it so many months ahead? That's the thing that I have a problem with. But,
they're that confident. Look, they're that confident. Yeah. They showed you 2 Celestials, and people are just like, well, you got my money. So
Marvel does whatever they want. There's no rules with Marvel.
That's completely it.
I'm worried about the clips, just like they start with Shang-Chi.
See, that's why, and we're gonna get to this, but that's why I'm starting to think more and more. Hold on, my bad, guys. That's why I'm starting to think more and more. That's why I'm starting to think more and more. Feige is why we don't have a Spider-Man trailer. Because at the end of the day, I think Sony is just like, nah, we gotta get buzz out there. Yeah. But I think Feige's just kind of like, yeah, I've been doing this long enough. You know, they get it when they get it. You know, they'll be out. You know what I'm saying? Trailers don't come out every day. They'll be fine. But next up, Jamie. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, I'm doing good. I hope everybody else is doing good out there. School started this week, so I am very tired.
Girl, same.
I'm not used to walking across campus, especially not in this heat. So you'll probably see me get darker and darker as more GVN talks go on. But I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to have you here. I definitely wanted to at some point talk to you about that new trailer for the open world Pokemon game. I was
saving it. I haven't seen it yet. But here's the thing. People keep posting it all over Twitter and talking about, oh, this happened, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, I feel like I'm not going to be surprised anymore. I'm like, oh, yep, they were talking about that. Oh, they were talking about that. This is why I don't watch trailers, man. This is why I don't do it.
Listen, I didn't watch the last Eternal trailer, but then I had to because I was coming over here because I was like, I don't want nothing to be spoiled because I was sold after the second trailer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things. I've said this numerous times. It's the one thing I hate about doing what we do is sometimes you have too much information. And it's kind of just like, I'd like to go in not really knowing even who's in the movie, let alone what the movie's about, you know, what certain things look like, what the action pieces are. I kind of just want to go in blind. But now we live in a time where Lego will drop a Lego set that lets you know what the final battle is. It's like, goddamn, Lego! Like, the movie don't come out till next year. Can you wait? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why can't you just drop it when the movie comes out? Why you gotta drop it 6 months ahead of time? Yeah. So it's hard, man. It's hard to just be blocking spoilers out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to savor it while I can.
Yeah, you know, you got to take the small things and not seeing that Pokemon trailer. I feel you. Those are one of those.
I literally, it's either tonight or I'm gonna watch it tomorrow, and I'm excited. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, I got.
Wait, what? This is a Pokemon movie?
Yeah, there's
they had a Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, it's open world Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, you just popping in.
See? I'm telling you. AJ is literally probably the human manifestation of that Kanye bar, where he said, "You should be honored by my lateness." Like that's AJ. Everything we do. Just,
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. You guys should already know this about me. I'm always late, so
always, man.
It's to be expected. I'm sorry.
Always.
Do your fans like do they bet on it? Like, okay, what minute mark is he gonna pop?
You know what's funny? I try not to say it when we come on, but sometimes he'll come in the middle of a conversation that I'm about to end, and then I have to point out, like, all right, y'all. So y'all about to hear AJ talk about something.
You gotta start taking bets. With your fans, like, all right, who picking this hour? Who picking this minute?
Yo.
That's what we gotta do. You know what? Because if I was a betting man, I thought he wasn't coming today. so I would have been wrong. I would have lost money right there. Ash, what's going on, Ash?
Hello, I am good. I'm ready to talk about today's topics. I am back in school, but I am ready for tonight. So yeah.
Absolutely. And we appreciate you and Jamie for hopping on, being busy with school and everything. We appreciate you guys. AJ, you're not appreciated. Anyway, what's up, AJ?
You love me. You know you love me.
I don't.
Anyway, I'm doing good. I watched the first 4 episodes of Titans. It was decent. It was decent. I still have some issues with it, but it was decent. Everything else, work is going good. School, I actually thought about going back to school in a little like mid next year. So that's a plan. But everything else is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Absolutely. That means you'll definitely never be on any of these podcasts.
Oh no, I'll definitely.
He'll be up. He'll be up. So maybe he'll be on.
I'm only going to do like part time.
You say he'll be up. But Trevon remembers yesterday. He said he was up.
I was asleep like a baby yesterday. I slept through 3 alarms. I was
Man, AJ had me out here like a jealous ex. I called him 13 times, left 6 voicemails, 14 texts, question mark emojis. It was bad. But all right, let's get into these main topics. Deuces being here and him bringing both hip hop and geekdom together. I wanted to open this show up with a hip hop question. And Trevon and Ash are gonna get upset with this one, but I gotta ask.
Why you gonna do that?
And here it goes. We doing it. I'm starting off with you, Deuces. Who had the better verse? Nicki Minaj in Monster?
Oh my God, we really doing this.
All about the Benjamins.
This is dumb. This is dumb.
Wait, what was the second one?
Lil Kim and All About the Benjamins.
So dumb.
All right. So this is hard as shit. I just want to let you know that. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Be you.
It's not hard.
It ain't.
So this is why I say that it is hard. All right. Benjamin's clear-cut better song, 100% all the way, no debate, right? That song is damn near unbeatable in verses, right? However, Nicki Minaj did out-rap everybody in Monster. And because of that, because she out-rapped everybody and Lil Kim did not out-rap everybody. She had a dope-ass verse, but she did not out-rap everybody on the song. If we're talking about the verse, I'm going Nicki Minaj had a better verse because of that. Because she out-rapped everybody on that song.
See, you're not wrong about that, but here's the caveat in that statement. I don't think anybody else in that song brought their A game. I thought Ye's verse was horrible. I thought Jay's verse was horrible. And I thought Ross's 5 seconds at the beginning of that was horrible.
Ross don't count.
You said Ross don't count.
But time out. But let me say this. Here's why I view it as harder for Lil Kim, right? The Locks brought it.
Oh, yeah.
The Locks brought it, right? Even though Jadakiss wrote Diddy's verse, that's still one of the hottest verses I've ever seen Diddy do ever. Is the beginning of All About the Benjamins, and then you end it with Biggie, right? So you're Lil Kim in between the Locks and Biggie, right? And you can argue who had the best verse out of anybody on that All About the Benjamins song.
Right.
Nicki Minaj was clear cut better than everybody on that verse. But that's because I do believe, and think about this, Jay-Z was on 3 of Kanye's records on that My Dark Twisted Fantasy. Jay-Z had 1 verse, in my opinion, that was worth anything out of all his verses on that one album. I kind of felt like he was sleepwalking through Monster. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what? Jay-Z, go back to sleep. Like, wake up again tomorrow and try to do better. Like, so that's why, to me, Lil Kim's was better, is because the degree of difficulty. I don't think anyone would argue that All About the Benjamins with the Locks and Biggie, their verses were better than Kanye and Jay-Z's on Monster. So I'm just going off of the degree of difficulty sitting at the table, looking across Jadakiss and going, oh, damn, I got to write. Oh, okay, hold on.
She did. Did she write it?
To who?
Lil Kim, did she write it?
You know what? I Googled it.
Or did Biggie write it?
Time out. I Googled it, and I can't find that anywhere. I can find that Diddy didn't do his. I can't find anywhere who wrote.
Diddy never do his, so that's not.
I'm just saying. I Googled it, and usually in today's world, somebody said that in an interview somewhere. I couldn't find it.
I got a question for you for the group then.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nicki Minaj Monsters verse her best verse that she's ever spit?
I don't think so.
No.
I think we need to let it go.
No, I think it's.
I'm tired of hearing about it.
I think it's probably her most her most famous bar. But what makes Nicki Minaj so difficult to kind of break down is she kind of pivoted from hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Pop. So it's like, well, I'm not going to judge any bars off of any pop songs she dropped. True. So it's like, I need her. It's the same thing I was saying about Drake until he did. If you're reading,
are you trying to say she stayed over there?
No, I'm just trying to say I haven't heard a real street gritty bar from Nicki in I don't know how.
Years.
Like
you're not listening.
Years. It's been years.
You're not listening.
I'm not listening.
Yeah.
Trevon, you gotta take the fandom.
You're not listening.
Off.
I'm not being a fan. I'm telling you, you're not listening. I'm telling you, you're not listening.
Can you name the song so like I can listen to it after the show?
Go listen to a verse on Zanies and Fools.
On what?
Zanies and Fools with Chance the Rapper. Go listen to that.
Zany.
Wait, when did that come out? When did that come out?
2018, 19, something like that. Not too long ago.
It still stands. Yeah, being AJ.
Yeah, it's been years.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the one that I like. For me, I feel like that's my favorite of hers.
Was Lil Durk featured in that?
No.
Which song?
That's Slide Around. That's Slide Around.
All right, so let me pass this while we look for that. Let me pass this to Dom. Dom, what you going with, man? You better not make me cry on this show.
Damn, Nicki, it bores me. Boring. I can't do it. I try, and I can't like the same reason I don't like Eminem is the same reason I don't like Nicki. It's the voice. It hits my ear weird. It's the inflections, the kind of nasaliness. I can't get with it. Like, I mean, I respect both of their, craft, their wordsmith, ability, but like, it's just not for me, man. It's not for me.
So Dom, do you rock with K-Dot? Because K-Dot does the same thing.
Yeah, I know, and K-Dot, I love K-Dot too, but there is times where his voice, same thing. I'm just like, I'm gonna skip that song. You know what I mean? I'm more of a Griselda type person. So and Method Man, like I stick into like the gritty New York lane for the most part.
Yeah.
And then Memphis, because I'm from Nashville, so I got rock with Tennessee. But
I mean, look, in this, I know people are going to take it as a knock, and it's not, because I think you can make the same argument for Drake and maybe Kendrick to a degree, and maybe even Cole. I think Nicki Minaj's best work, kind of like Cardi B, is when she was not on. Those were when I was.
Can we not?
Look, there is something about a hungry artist. There is something about a hungry artist that breeds better content.
Well, that leads to another question. Do you think some artists do better when they get their labels or after?
It depends. Like some people could say Cole has aged well, but a lot of people would tell you there's nothing like Friday Night Lights. You know what I'm saying? There's just nothing like that. You know.
The reason why certain artists don't grow, and this is again, I grew up in the Midwest, so because we're in the Midwest, we have a melting pot of everything. I love the South, I love the East, I love the West, so I got to experience everything. This is what I realized about the artists who, once they get on, and then either the route that they go. So most artists, their first album is their hardest album or their best album when they don't have when it's not like a big major one, because technically that's the album that they've been wanting to make their whole life. Their whole life has been leading up to this big grandiose, so they're telling all their stories. Now, where artists usually fail at is that they don't get any additional experiences to talk about, right? So where the artists like Cole and Kendrick and everything, when they had their album talking about their come up, but then they have something else that they feel bigger attached to, where, whether it is, speaking up for Black people, whether it is going against, they're putting substance on their content. The reason why Nicki Minaj really didn't, because she had it with, where she had a moment where she was talking about her grind, but then she caught that pop fame. So now she was just making songs that was going to pop. She wasn't putting substance in it. And that's why this, everybody was excited for this last project that she had put out, because they thought, oh, she had a baby, she's going to be talking about these new experiences. But that's where she's missing the mark with some people, is that she's not putting substance in it, because she got infatuated by, oh, I can make these pop records and pop. Same thing with M. The reason why, I respect M as a rapper, but the reason why I can't put him as in top for me is because I can't relate to a damn thing that he talks about. I can respect that, the skill of rapping, he's up there. You know what I'm saying? I can give him that. He is definitely up there with the skill of rapping. But as far as relatability, I can't. That's why, I hold people like K-Dot and Griselda and Cole and, everything, pretty much damn near everybody in Dreamville, because I can relate to things that they're saying. And I think that that's why we start seeing certain things like that. If you're not putting substance in it, then yeah, your bars are not going to hit, because there's only so many times you can talk about, your money and talk about being in the club and stuff. No, I need some substance, man.
Right.
So you didn't like Seeing Green or Fractions? Did you hear those two?
No. Say from what?
Seeing Green or Fractions?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay, so
go listen to those two. But I didn't like her as much on Seeing Green. I don't think I love Seeing Green.
Fractions more.
I love Fractions more. Yeah,
that was off her last project, right? The one that she had.
Yeah, recently. Yep.
I will also say what's going to be interesting to see about Nicki Minaj, because she's never had this time before. And I'm going to pass it to you, Ash, to get your thoughts. We're not going to stay on this too long, but what's very interesting about Nicki right now is she's never had a time in her hip hop career where there's been other talent, real talent, legit talent. We saw what happened when Drake got legit talent, when Cole, Kendrick, both came up at the same time. And it was kind of just well, you got one more time to sing, Drake, before I'm gonna head over here with these real hip hoppers. And you saw he had to put out Nothing Was the Sound. I'm sorry. If you're reading this, it's too late. But that was as a full hip hop album as Drake could ever give, right? Where he was just I'm gonna give you guys real rap. That's what you say I can't do, so I'm gonna give it to you. So to me, it's I do want Nicki to go to that, because you listen to Mega Stallion, that's, and I'm, regardless if you think it's good or not.
I was going to ask you what talent are you talking about. Okay, so that's what you're talking about.
Nicki, Cardi, I really like Bia. I know a lot of people are gonna look at me crazy. I like
Okay.
what's her
I
name?
see. I understand.
Oh man.
Now get your stance.
So,
Wait,
here's what.
Yes.
Same thing with M. Nicki got the talent to right. What I wish you would do, I wish you would link up with more like Rhapsody and Chica and, you know, artists of that nature, because I feel like Nicki, one, coming from the heart of, you know what I'm saying, within New York, like you got bars that you can do. But again, you know, you get stuck into a certain lane because, like I said, that's like when it comes down to, you know, like a lot of the women rappers, like, yeah, I listen to Chica a lot. I listen to Rhapsody a lot. I think Rhapsody is the best female rapper that we heard in a long time. She is up there to me.
Since Lauryn Hill.
With yeah, she's up there to me with like the same regard that I hold K Dot and Cole and, you know, the cats on TDE and Dreamville. I got her right there with it. I got Chica upcoming, like she got eclipsed off of that XL freshman, but truthfully, she was the best lyricist to me and out of that whole freshman list. And if you haven't watched her Tiny Desk yet, her Tiny Desk, amazing.
And I will say I get a lot of flack for this, but I like Flo Milli. I do. I really like Flo Milli. I like Flo Milli. She is super talented. But all right, so Ash, so I feel like I know where you and Trevon already stand, but I got to give you guys mic time to defend it. So go ahead.
I'm already with Nicki. Like when I think the reason why I'm saying Nicki as well is because for me, like Monster and like it's more memorable. And I know that's a little bit weird to say, and it's what's the, you know, controversial, whatever. But that's the one I go back to the most.
Wait,
right?
you saying it's more memorable than All About the Benjamin?
No, for me. I'm saying for me, not about, no, definitely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But I'm talking about their verses, not the song.
Oh, okay. I got you. No problem.
Yeah. So I personally like Nicki's verse better. I mean, down to personal preference. I enjoy it. I enjoy the content. I love her flow on it as well. Same thing for Kim, but what gets me more, what pulls me more is her verse. Like when I go back and I listen to Monster, I'm not gonna lie, I skip over all of them and I go to her. Whereas with All About the Benjamins, I listen to all of it, but I'm gonna skip to her because I want to wait for her, and then I'm gonna go back to the other ones. So
I feel you on that. And I do want to add this as I pass it to you, Trevon. Shout out.
You don't need to pass it to me. I've already given my comments. So I understand. I get where y'all are at. I want Rhapsody, Chica, and all that. I got you.
No, because I mean, I hear this a lot, and it's a misconception in music, period. Someone writing for you is not a bad thing. I don't think it's not a bad thing.
Hold on now.
Here's the thing. It's only
singers,
ridiculed.
sure, for singers.
No. It's only ridiculed in hip hop. It happens in all facets of music. But to me, here's the only problem with if someone writes for you. If you're saying you're one of the greatest lyricists, right? And someone writes for you, that's different. Cardi B never said that. I've never heard Lil Kim say, I'm the greatest lyricist to ever pick up a mic. I don't think you
call yourself a rapper. Aren't you just an entertainer? You're reciting.
But here's the thing. You writing your own raps is usually for lyricists, right? Like I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you an example on why writing your own lyrics is overrated. You ready?
Whoa.
Hold on.
Calm down. Don't.
Let me give you a quick example. Hold on. Are you ready for this?
You're trying to get Cardi B that pass, and it's fine.
I'm not trying to give her a pass.
Yes, you are.
I didn't even say she was better than Nicki.
We don't have to
Okay.
say her either.
Here we go. You ready for this?
We can enjoy both of them.
You ready for this? You guys ever hear of Blueface?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
You heard of Blueface?
Yeah.
You know, he writes all his own lyrics. Do you think his lyrics are dope? You think he's a great lyricist? No, right?
I listen to him when Nicki remixes one song. So no.
All I'm saying is you can write your own lyrics and it just be like, well, what are you saying? Like you're not.
But you know what? Not everybody needs to be a rapper, though.
So
exactly.
That's my point. Some people are just great performers, and there is nothing wrong with that. There's just nothing wrong.
So are you saying Nicki isn't a rapper?
No. I only brought that up because
okay.
Trevon was using that
Oh,
to credit
because you
Lil
know.
Kim's verse. And I was just saying, well, to me, I don't think Lil Kim's ever come out and said, hey, I'm the greatest lyricist ever.
I think to kind of defend with your argument a little bit is that I think you have to look at good songs versus good lyricists. Cassidy, fire. His songs are trash. Drake, if you look at some of his songs, there's a lot of different writers. It may not be his actual verses, but the hooks, the bridges, you need more people to help construct a good song that's going to have radio play. But if you want bars, Conceited and all them you saying, wow, now really good. You watch URL, everybody's fire, but most of them can't make songs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
but that's why I said hip hop is a collaborative effort.
So that's why I said I was with you halfway, because you have to separate. Yeah. If you are looking at like I said, artists, right? There's a difference between an artist and a lyricist. So an artist, Kanye West, P. Diddy, Dr. Dre, are like, even though they're producers, they're artists, they made records, right? I can enjoy their music. I'm not gonna put them in that top lyricist conversation, because even when you start thinking about top lyricists, like a lot of people are not gonna put, a lot of people are not gonna straight go to Black Thought, but Black Thought is up there. Mickey Fax, Royce the 5'9", these niggas is up there in top lyricists, right? So it's like, it's not overrated. You just got to make sure that you differentiate what type of person you are. If you are claiming you are a top lyricist, then you better be writing all your lyrics, because
you don't think you can do both though? You don't think you can do?
But you can't classify yourself as that. You can say you a top,
be in the same conversation
and have anybody writing for you.
You brought up J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. I think they're up there in terms of lyricists and entertainment as well. Right. They can do.
They can. What I'm saying is that if somebody was writing for them, then they can't say they cannot claim that lyricist.
Yeah. I got you.
Right.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. And that's why I said I only brought it up because I felt like, Trevon, you were discrediting somebody for not writing. And
I'm gonna keep discrediting her. That's fine.
Here's my thing. Like, I don't think I would ever say Nicki Minaj is a great lyricist. She writes all her stuff. I wouldn't put her up there as a great lyricist.
That's your problem.
Here's my thing. As a
not even top 10?
Top 10 lyricist?
Yeah.
You'd have to find me somewhere where Nicki is saying something of substance in her lyrics. That to me is what lyricism is. You don't listen to Black Thought and he's talking about I'm trying to think of what she said in that monster verse. Like, she was just saying a whole bunch of stuff, and it was just like,
because she wasn't listening. Wasn't listening.
What?
He wasn't listening.
That song was not about ass. See, that's our problem.
Well, to Nicki Minaj's defense in Monster, she was really just naming different type of monsters. Like, she stayed on topic of that. It wasn't more of a half sub, because that song wasn't a substance song. It was really
right.
Showcase your rapping skills, and she rapped her ass off on that motherfucker.
For sure. But to me, lyricists, I put Lauryn Hill usually at the top of that.
Really hard.
And then I just come down from there.
Look at him.
But look,
going
again. But here's what makes me laugh, Trevon. I've never once said I don't think Nicki Minaj is the best in the game and extremely talented. I'm just trying to say, I feel like Trevon, you look at Nicki Minaj the way that Shannon Sharp looks at LeBron. So where it's just like, there is no wrong that person can do. And it's just like, well, no one's perfect at everything. I mean, Jordan couldn't hit 100 3-pointers in a season. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's good at every single thing. And she is literally the definition of female hip hop from like 2000.
Who's the best out of everybody? Ash.
I can already I can name people that are best at what they do.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are best at what
Serena
they do.
Williams,
Yes,
number one.
Are they perfect?
Yeah, but
nobody's perfect.
Time out. But here's why you can't say, okay, you can say she's great at what she does, but the best at what she does, she lost to Naomi Osaka when she was what, like 3?
All right. Okay. Okay, let's bring that
back.
What
are we talking about? I'm just saying, to me, you can be great, but there's obviously, flaws with everybody. That's all I'm saying. I don't think anybody would tell you Nicki is an all-time lyricist, and that's not a knock.
I'll say it.
Okay. Jamie, AJ, did you guys want to add anything else to this before we moved on?
I can't. I won't choose between the two. I'm not going to. We can go on to the next topic now, unless Jamie wants to say something.
Jamie, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, we can move on. I'm the type of person when I listen to music, I'm like that Kanye meme. I'm just like, yeah. All right. But I'm not real deep
you
into
like
it,
the beats.
you know.
You like the beats more than the lyrics.
So here's the thing. I feel like for a lot of music that comes out today, or at least stuff that comes onto the radio, because I think that's where I get my greatest exposure to different artists. A lot of it is just about the beats. Like they don't be talking about nothing, like absolutely nothing. I couldn't tell you a word of what they're trying to say or what kind of message they're trying to deliver. But when I actually go into or I happen to find a new artist, like I found Ari Lennox like not too long ago because I have a friend who's really into Dreamville, so I like looked into them and I was like really enjoying her music. That's when I think the lyrics matter a little bit more to me. But yeah, mainly I'm just vibing to the beats.
Yeah, I mean, like no one's really talking about Tobe, and he's killing the game right now, killing.
If you are looking for a good place to find new artists, like I said, Tiny Desk is really dope. Color Studios is another dope YouTube channel that I love. I find so many dope artists on there. Yeah, those are my two where I find the most new artists.
Yeah, Tiny Desk is definitely, because they do it. It's more so like acoustic. So it's real raw. So like, if you ever thought to yourself, man, can blah 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 sing? Tiny Desk is where you find
can
that.
Can T-Pain sing without autotune? Yes, he fucking can.
Oh yeah, he can.
I don't know why he uses autotune so much.
Don't tell him that. He said he hated that people's response was, "Damn, you can really sing."
I mean, look. If you take all that auto-tune off Lollipop, you know how horrible Lil Wayne would have sounded that whole time, just saying it. He didn't even sing it.
Well, there's an exception for Lil Wayne. He can do auto-tune. If you can sing, don't use auto-tune. If you can sing.
No. I'm saying people were shocked because most people that use auto-tune, it's because they can't sing.
Yeah.
So that's why people were just like, oh damn. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's get into our first topic. Let's start off with breaking news. Misha Green, who's working on Tomb Raider right now, the sequel for Tomb Raider. She also did Lovecraft Country, is rumored to be writing the Black Canary project with Journey Smollett. No word on if it's a series or a film, but an announcement could be made at DC Fandom in October. This is great news. You guys know Journey is a family friend, so this is great. I'm glad that the Black Canary is sticking around. Because I don't really need anything else that came out of that movie. So I'm glad that is what's sticking. I'm just waiting for the confirmation at Fandom, and the only other thing I don't need any other details. As long as they tell me Oliver Queen will be in it, that's all I really care about. Everything else is just whatever. It doesn't really matter. But Deuces, I'm gonna pass it to you, man. What are your thoughts on this news?
I'm excited because Misha Green, her writing is amazing to me. Like she just the themes that she writes and how she writes. I've been a fan of hers, like, you know, instantaneously. I got introduced to her through Lovecraft, so unfortunately I was late to the party, but immediately fell in love with her writing style and everything like that. And you know, Journey, I'm excited for Journey because I like her as an actress and everything that she portrays. I don't know about the Birds of Prey yet because I did not like that movie. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm excited for it yet, but I am a little bit more excited that who's involved with it right now based off of that. But until I see a little bit more, because I'm a DC fanboy for the comics. Films has been letting me down so much. So I'm kind of like, I got my wall up always with DC films until they prove me otherwise.
That's fair. Look, that is very fair. I will say Birds of Prey to me, I thought was okay. Where it really rubbed me the wrong way was making Renee Montoya part of the Birds of Prey, and then giving Renee Montoya Black Canary's black leather jacket so we don't get the iconic look of Black Canary in her black leather jacket. Hated it. You guys know details like that matter to me. And I was just sitting there just like, why? Why do we need more Rosie Perez? Like, that was enough. That was enough. That was good. That was enough. Anyway, AJ, what are your thoughts on this recent news of us getting a Birds of Prey, whether it's a movie or a series from Misha Green and Journey?
I have two mindsets on this. I love it overall, but I hate it. If it's going to be a movie, at least, I'll hate it if they put it on HBO Max. Because
that's the rumor.
No, that's why I hate it. Because look at what Suicide Squad is doing. It made what, 100 plus, a little bit over 100 million only worldwide, and in the box office, which is terrible. And that's thanks to HBO Max. More people stayed home, watched on HBO Max than going to the movies, which is fair, which is fine right now because of the pandemic. But if they're going to continue this years forward, that's a dumb move on them. If it's a movie, at least. I love Misha Green. I love Journey. Ever since I just realized this, but she worked on Spartacus. I think worked on a couple episodes, or just one episode of Spartacus. And what was the other one? Heroes. Also worked on Heroes, which is also a great TV series. So I'm with Deuces. She's a great writer. If it's a movie, hopefully she'll direct it as well, because she also is a great director. So for me, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I will say this. Suicide Squad making what it made is not bad. It is still a pandemic box office. And I said it before. I said it, Trevon.
But it would have made a lot more money if it wasn't on HBO Max.
I think it would have made a lot more money if we weren't in a pandemic.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think it leans more to that than it does it being on HBO Max. Because Black Widow had a dual release, and that made a lot of money in both. It made more in Disney Plus, but it made a lot in theaters also.
See, it would make more sense if we had to pay for it on HBO Max. I'm not saying do that now because I'm watching it for free. But
I think that's what the ad version of HBO Max is going to be. I think you'll have to pay for the new releases.
Well, I'll tell you this: if they're smart, they wouldn't. Because think about it: when a new Drake album comes out and he says it's exclusive to Apple, right? You already pay $9.99 a month. You don't pay extra to listen to that album. But they don't make their money off of you buying the album. A lot of musicians do. So they'll ask you to go out and buy the album. But for Drake, what he makes up in streams is way more than he would ever think of people buying a physical copy or people buying the digital album. So to me, if you're HBO Max, it shouldn't matter, because the streaming is what makes you your money. That's where you get a lot of your revenue from. And think of it like this. A lot of people, December of last year, when they heard that HBO Max was releasing all these movies this year, paid the money to sign up for it so that they could see these movies for free. So
yeah, but how much more subscriptions did they get after that? Like everybody that wanted to watch those movies already subscribed within that.
Right, but think about this. Think about this. HBO Max did exactly what Disney Plus did when they got smart as to what people were doing with The Mandalorian, right? So what they did with each movie release is it comes out in the middle of the month, not the beginning, not the end, where you could just cancel it right after you see it.
Yeah, that was a smart move. Yeah.
Right. The timelines of when these movies come out, if you cancel it in a week or two, the new one comes out. So you'd have to rebuy it again. You know what I'm saying? So they've been very strategic in how they're releasing this. It's a way to do it, but there's a reason why you hear musicians telling people to stream.
But that's an issue, though.
Well, go ahead, Deuces.
Go on, Deuces.
I was just gonna say the one thing, because you use Drake, but you can't use the top person, right? Because the top person is not going to be the same as just the regular, person, right? So though we love Misha Green a lot, and though we love Journey Smollett, when we think about DC films versus Marvel, the reason why Marvel movies and Disney and
it's top.
That's the top.
They have the trust.
They definitely have the trust.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This won't fall on solely DC, because it's an HBO Max property, and a lot of people just have HBO Max. Hell, Trevon, one of your favorite shows is on HBO Max. What is it? The show that came back after like forever.
Gossip Girl.
Is it Gossip Girl? Yeah, Gossip Girl's on HBO Max, right? So to me, it's like there's a billion things to bring people to HBO Max. The caveat would just be, oh shit, yeah, Black Canary's out. All right, yeah, I'll watch it.
And I did HBO Max because it goes to my AT&T plan. So it's
no.
So it's free then. A lot more people that free HBO Max then.
Right. No, but the point I was making of bringing that up is just the idea of there's more than just something DC's doing that appeals you to HBO Max. So what I'm saying is, if HBO Max was like they just did DC, then I would say, yeah, you guys are right, because you don't have that much confidence in the bank for people to go, I'll sign up just for DC. Right. But to know that all the rush hours are there, all the hangovers are there, all the all the Fridays are there. Like there's a whole lot of stuff pulling you in to just one HBO Max for its library.
Yeah, but it makes more sense. It makes more sense for series. That I agree with you on series stuff, because that's how you get the more revenue. But with movies, like top tier theater movies, just overall blockbusters, that deserves to be in the theaters because they make more money in the theaters.
I don't think that will be the case going forward. Because think about it, HBO Max is not reported. HBO Max is not reported that any one of their releases has flopped.
Well, that's still a red flag. They haven't reported anything really for.
No, they reported Godzilla's numbers. They reported what was that horror movie?
Did they do Suicide Squad?
No, because it's still fresh, so it's still within its window. So I think they're gonna try to wait until it's fully out of theaters, and then you can kind of compare the two. But Godzilla vs. Kong did well. The Devil Made Me Do It.
What was Godzilla's numbers?
Mortal Kombat did really well.
Mortal Kombat did really well.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, AJ.
Don't worry about it. I'll look it up.
But yeah, so like I said, to me, it's the future. Just streaming from at home is the future. Ash, I'm going to pass it to you because I do know it bothers you some with some of these Black-led characters being put on the streaming service and not on the big screen. But I will say, part of me, because this is just the marketing of me, understands why you don't take that risk, because if you do take the risk and it bombs, it then solidifies Hollywood's mindset of a Black female character can't really lead a franchise.
Well, they need to take that risk regardless. They have to take it.
I'm tired of them using that as a cop out.
I think if they nail it, you then have no reason why that sequel isn't theaters only. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. We're in a time where that shouldn't matter. You should just take the chance. But from a business standpoint, it's an unfamiliar character. It's still a rising actor, and it's from a studio that really doesn't have that much confidence from its fan base.
And that's my issue, right?
The reason why I say she's rising is I think if you polled the world, more people know her as what's his name's sister than they could name you projects she's been in.
I'm gonna have to disagree, bro.
I don't know. I don't know if you poll people, they can tell you everything she's been in, or majority.
Listen, there's no way of all the work that she has done in her career that I'm calling her a rising. I had that issue. I forgot who did it. Somebody put that out with Lovecraft. They was like up and coming actress, and I'm like, what? So I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree.
To be fair, there's a difference between being a superstar in Hollywood and being a household name. So not a lot of people in the world would know that.
Name.
Yeah,
maybe
the
bigger project. Maybe she hasn't been in the bigger project like Birds of Prey or.
Well, no, because look, I'll give you a perfect example. You ready for this? I know a lot of people that know Chris Evans strictly from Captain America, but that man's been making movies for forever. So to us, we're just like, what? Rising star? What? Chris Evans been making movies for forever. But to majority of mainstream, Captain America was really their first time of seeing Chris Evans. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of people, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man was that. I didn't know who the hell Robert Downey Jr. was before Iron Man. I had no idea who the hell he was doing stuff like, what was the the movie he did with the artist or whatever, something like that, back in the day. So I didn't know who he was. So to me, what I mean by rising is she's becoming more so of a household name.
I mean, I can get that, but I mean, she's
Not
been
there yet.
She was a
She's
part
not
of
in the blockbusters, I guess.
Yeah.
part of majors. She was part of the Cosby's, Friday Night Lights. She was part of so much major.
I don't think.
But she was. She's not as. She wasn't as recognized back then.
Let me ask you this,
to
dude.
now.
Let me ask you this. Take you knowing her out of your head, right? If you just polled mainstream, how many people do you think really remember that she was in the Cosbys, that she was in Friday Night Lights? I think more people know her now from Lovecraft Country and Birds of Prey.
Starting to remember because they look it up. Yeah.
Right, because then you can go, oh yeah, she was in. But to me, when you see her or hear the name, you don't automatically go, yep, she was in Cosby's. I remember her. Yep.
It's like Gal Gadot.
For me, because
right, exactly. Yes, Jamie. Yep. Go ahead, Deuces. I'm sorry.
I'm basing it off of the conversations that I've had with people when Lovecraft was popping. You know, when that run was happening. Yes, the people that I conversated with did remember. So that's why I took that stance of when I was seeing people calling her the Rising. I was very, very vocal on, no, she's not rising. She's been here. So I have a different, I guess, experience with the conversations that I had with Journey.
But were they talking about her before?
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country or after or during?
They would bring up stuff. They would bring up stuff like, you know, roll bounce and stuff.
Okay.
It was stuff that we remembered her from. Now, granted, Lovecraft was probably one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing that she was a part of, but it wasn't like a rising. It was like, oh, finally she's getting that big role, you know what I'm saying, that she deserved. But that's why we wasn't calling it rising.
You know what?
Most of these articles are made by white people, so they wouldn't know.
That's why I'm so vocal about it, because
they wouldn't really know.
I will say the perfect example would be when Kendrick dropped that backseat freestyle. To a lot of people, or rigor mortis, actually, it might have been rigor mortis, or it might have been a backseat freestyle. A lot of people heard that and went, who is this guy? But to a lot of us that knew him from his mixtapes, we were like, bro, what? Come on now. Kendrick, Big Sean's been in the game. What are you talking about? This isn't his first, song with Chris Brown. This isn't his first, leap onto the, stardom. But to a lot of people, he didn't listen to any of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was the mainstream that got them hype on Big Sean or J. Cole or Kendrick. So that's what I mean more so. And again, she's not a household name, but again, that's a work in progress. You just have to get more familiar with mainstream. And that's why I said rising, because that's coming. Doing Lovecraft Country put her on a whole new map.
Oh, definitely.
Where I think the work she gets going forward, 3 years from now, no one will be able to say what I just said. Oh yeah, she's rising. I'm like, what? Did you not see Lovecraft Country? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did you not see blah, blah, blah? So I think we're both right. You're right with the stance of she's been working for a long time. So she's not new to the game. I'm just saying she's not a household name yet, but that's for sure coming. Dom, I'm going to go to you, man. What are your thoughts on this news?
It's honestly just refreshing to finally get new people that are at the helm of the ship. You know what I mean? Like I'm, watching so many movies and different shows, I get tired of seeing the same names attached to everything, because then you know what you're gonna get essentially. When you watch John Wick and they're like from the director from John Wick, and you're like, oh, this movie's gonna be somewhat similar. I kind of know what I'm gonna get. It might be good, but you like, I need something new. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good to see like fresh talent, and also to for Journey to like keep the family name alive and people to kind of forget all the mess that happened a few years ago. Because when you see her last name for a while, I know every interviewer wants to mention it or ask a question, but now that like we're talking, that her talent level is eclipsing all that, now she can like have that detached from her when she is doing appearances.
Yeah, she's for sure. That's another thing I'll say, Deuces. he was becoming literally the star of that family, right?
Yeah, my take was he was messing up the family name. I was like, dang.
Oh wait, no. When that happened, for sure. I mean, before that, with Empire being a hit show, he was rising to where people knew that last name from him. Yeah. And then Lovecraft Country happened, and people are just like, well, clearly the top of the pyramid is Journey. Like that's where you start from, and then you trickle down and get to him at the bottom of the pyramid. So that's why I say it was a weird time, because I'm with you. She's been working for forever, but it was that period where it was just like Empire is the hottest show on TV. You know, he's doing his thing, and then it was just like, all right, he's crazy. Lovecraft Country. It was just like, oh well, here we go. Jamie, I'll pass it to you. What are your thoughts on this news?
I'm curious to see how they're going to go about this project. I did enjoy Journey's performance in Birds of Prey. I don't think it was like the best movie ever, but I don't think every movie has to be that. Like, it could just be, you know, something you enjoy and then you move on with your day. So I'm excited to see more of her. And I'm wishing everybody the best of luck with that one.
That is literally the funniest take I've ever heard to it. Like, yeah, some movies are just, you know, it happened, you know.
Like not every song can be a hit, but that doesn't mean that you didn't enjoy it, you know.
That is true. That is really true. So I want to pass it to you, Trevon. So my question to you is, seeing what she did in Birds of Prey, which, by the way, standout moment of that movie was definitely when she gained the confidence to do the canary cry. That was easily for me the highlight of that entire movie, because it was done well. I still have issues that she did it that close range and it didn't shatter anybody's eardrum. It was just like, it's what? Like,
it's still developing. It's still.
They haven't done it in a while.
I'm like, but the whole point is it's so strong it can burst your. And they were so close. Anyway, whatever.
They had earplugs. You didn't know.
It was just I'm watching and I'm just like, oh, it looks great. I'm like, but they're just falling? Okay, all right, whatever. But Trevon,
they're just falling as if that's not enough force.
I thought it was enough force to blow their eardrums. That's where I was getting frustrated at. But Trevon, what are your thoughts on this news? And are you excited to see where this Black Canary character goes forward?
Oh, I'm excited because I actually had a great time with Birds of Prey. I thought the movie was fun. I think I have this thing where I'm not like expecting movies to do nothing crazy. If I had a good time, I had a good time. That's why I argue with people about Suicide Squad, the first one, because the characters for me were casted so well. I had fun. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the story may not be perfect, but I had fun with the characters, so that was good enough for me. So, I mean, and they were cast so well that I wanted to see them again. So, I don't know. For this, I was happy when I saw her. I was like, "Oh, this is great!" Like I loved her character. I love, when she did the Canary Cry, of course. I wanted to see more of them. I want another movie where they're together again. So I don't know. I had fun. I don't know. I'm excited for her. I don't know about it being the HBO Max movie that they're talking about. But we'll see. And I do have a problem with them putting Static Shock, That Girl. They're putting every minority character.
But let's keep this in mind that they can change their mind at any point. They still haven't started writing.
They won't.
They won't.
Not even necessarily change their mind. Remember, The Irishman was a Netflix exclusive that he released in theaters so that he could be nominated for Oscars. So you can have a limited theatrical release. So it doesn't mean you change your mind. It just means you opened it up for people to enjoy in more spaces than just one. But so I think that's their way of saying, because they probably will release it for theaters. I think it's their way of saying they don't want to have to worry about what it does in a box office. They just want to worry about how fans perceive it, right? Because
they want to worry about their image. That's what they care about, not
Exactly.
about.
That's
Exactly.
every producer though.
No, this is especially
that's not
Warner
just
This
Warner
is
Brothers.
especially Warner Brothers and DC
right now.
Comics.
I mean, I don't know, because you just had this the CEO, or not the CEO, but somebody high up in Disney just called Shang-Chi an experiment.
Yeah, it was exactly the CEO who
Right.
said.
Now, is it wrong to say? Yes. Is it an experiment? 100%. 100%.
To be fair, it was put that sentence was put out of context.
Yeah.
No, it was out of context. He meant it's an experiment to see how it does
in theaters. Yeah, not
right,
not the movie in general.
Right.
Yeah, but he was just excited about Shang-Chi though. That was a problem.
Right, Ash, Trevon, I get what you're saying. It's faces that look like us that aren't being given the proper shine. I 100% agree with what you're saying. But to me, I want to make sure that it has an audience to go to. Because again, it's sequel you can put in theaters. 100%.
See, no.
I don't like that.
No, if you're not confident about it, you're just not confident.
I don't agree with that. So like, why is it that they can take risk on all of these other movies that are boring AF, quite frankly, and white, predominantly white, and take the risk with those movies, but it comes to people of color and it comes to women, and you deem that it's too risky to make that decision?
But see, here's why I disagree with that. I think it's more to the character and less to the, because Supergirl has a movie coming out and she's Hispanic.
It has nothing to do.
Supergirl's gonna be in the Flash first.
No. But she does have a solo movie that they are going to be. What I'm saying is, think of the characters that were not the race.
So then here's the thing. So then don't use the characters. If you can't trust, no, right. Here's the thing. If you are going to say that we're casting people of color, right, in these roles, right, and you saying that, oh, it's too risky to do these roles because they're people of color and we need to see how they are reacting, then do one of two things: pick a different character, or don't put people of color in it. Because at the end of the day, what you're saying is that we don't trust you enough to do what you need to do.
But that second.
Hold on. Let Deuces go real quick. I don't want him to forget what he's gonna say. Go ahead.
Okay.
I was gonna say, so I am on the same side as Ash, because one of the things is I do not believe that it's about the character. Because let's keep it a bean. Before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, Guardians of the Galaxy was not major characters in Marvel. And they took that risk and that paid off. And I could believe like Black Canary is a known enough name, especially with those DC shows. Because here's the thing about C-Dub: no matter what you care about Arrowverse, C-Dub has a loyal, and I mean loyal fan base.
Yes, they do.
They do.
When I love Supernatural, and listen here, I was here throughout the whole ride. I'm still watching Flash to this day, and I know that they kind of make he forget his powers and shit, and he's fought bigger people, but I'm loyal to it. So the name is big enough; they can take that risk. I'm more with Ash. I feel like they should be taking this risk. One, Black Panther showed you that a black-led cast can do it. We have enough black characters where that you can do it. You can take that risk and build a world around that, and it will pay off. So I don't give them that pass.
Here's the thing. Also,
okay.
Go ahead, Ash.
Here's the thing. Also with that, right? What was the movie New Gods? Right? That was supposed to be coming out. Who look at the people that were surrounding that, right? Why did that just get cut? Why couldn't they suddenly
got cut?
But here's the thing: why couldn't they give more time, since they wanted to give more time with all of these movies, right?
Okay. Again, I'm only coming from business. So to your point, Deuces, what Guardians and Black Panther had a safety net of is that they existed in the span of 10 years of an MCU that has already been built. So even people today go see Marvel movies, not necessarily because they're interested, but because they know Marvel has a good track record, right? So to me, if Black Panther came out in 2005, no other MCU movie attached to it, no other instance, we would have supported it for sure. Would it have had the worldwide support? Absolutely not. It had the support of the safety net of, damn, I've loved the last 18 Marvel movies. So if this is Marvel, I'm going. What I'm saying is CW, yes, very loyal. There is a very large percentage of people that have no idea about CW shows.
That is true.
Black Canary is not Superman.
Right.
Here's a better example. And I'm going to go right to you, Trevon. I'm going to say this last time, I'm going to pass it right to you, I promise. Harley Quinn is probably the most popular character in DC outside of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman right now, right? People
argue even more popular now.
Arguably,
movie wise, I'm talking about movie wise. Yeah.
People still didn't go to the theater. They watched that at home. They knew who she was and still didn't go to the theater to see it. So again, all I'm saying is just from a business standpoint, I'm not defending them. I'm saying if I have smaller characters, I do want to start them in a small. Think about it. Oscar Isaac is starting off Moon Knight in a show. You know how box office Oscar Isaac is? He should easily have his own movie. But it's such a unique character. You want to start it in a smaller space and then expand upon it in the movies.
Then they shouldn't have make it into a movie first. But Trevon, go.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for Black Canary. Okay, she was in a movie. Okay, so she was already in Birds of Prey. Like, she's already been in the big screen. Why can't she continue to be on the big screen? I don't see why they did that. Why is she?
I'm not defending it. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying from a business standpoint, it's not a property that you have a safety net for. Because again, remember, because here's the thing: if they said Batman was attached to this project at all, that's enough of a safety net for you to release it wherever the hell you want to. If there's no safety net for some of these projects, it's really tough to throw it out
fault
there.
is that? And whose fault is
Again,
that?
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying, if I wanted to do this, I wouldn't trust it, knowing my own track record.
So but that's your fault. Can I use this analogy, right? Because I used this analogy this morning at work, right? That's like, right, getting up in front of her class or his class or their class, getting in front of their class and deciding that they need their class to take a test and whatever, and they don't trust the class to take the test. So what do? They do the test for the class, right? That's not how it works. You need to be able to trust your audience. Unfortunately, DC hasn't built that trust. So why should these characters suffer because they are fucked?
But
it's the same reason we have to suffer as friends. But go ahead, Deuces. It's the same reason we have to suffer.
But my thing is this: so we keep on talking about taking a risk if from a financial standpoint, taking a risk. But wasn't Suicide Squad a risk? Like at that point.
Time out. What was their safety net, Deuces? What was their safety net?
What, Will Smith?
No. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. You're talking the first one. I thought you were talking this new one.
No, I'm just saying the
first one. Your safety net was Will Smith. Think about it. After Earth is one of the worst movies ever created, and that still made decent money. Why? Because Will Smith was attached.
Right. So
he was your safety net for sure.
They took that risk with Suicide Squad, right? And now, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, like I said, Misha Green attached to it with what she just did. Look at all the awards. If we're talking about studios, they want those awards. Look at everything that they were nominated for. So that right there, right off the rip. I mean, I love Issa Rae. Issa Rae is getting so much work because she has proven based off of that, like to the point where it's like, we got you, whatever you want, you can do because we trust you with that based off of Insecure. So Misha Green for me has built that same safety net. If anything, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take a risk on this writer because what she did with this is amazing. And then you got somebody, you know, so it's like, you know, even if you're not world building, if you're like, that is to me, you have enough safety to take this risk. And that's why I'm not giving them the pass.
I'm not defending it. I only look from it from a business standpoint. Excuse me. And to me, it's just like music. If you're in the studio and your engineer keeps going like, don't release that track, dog. Like, don't release that track. So if you're Warner and you're sitting somewhere and you're going, Batgirl, or
Okay, but
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
know.
want to go the Batgirl route,
use that same analogy. If your engineer's going and you are Jay-Z or Kanye, you know what your craft is going to be. So if DC is telling Misha and them no, or whoever, if somebody's telling a black-led person like, I don't know if this ready, but you know it's ready, like you can't, that person is not always right just because you're the engineer, you know, and that, so it's like you gotta be able to, you know like, and trust into that talent. Like, yeah, you may be the engineer, the funds, the money behind it, but if you are hiring me, you came to me for a reason. You grabbed Misha Green for a reason. Trust in her and let her do.
I will say this: if all of us feel this strongly, when this movie drops, we support it no matter where it comes out, and we make it known that from going forward, it deserves the same kind of releases that everybody else gets. But we have to support it in whatever medium it is delivered in. And once we get it, that's where we get the stage to complain. But to not support it, they'll just continue doing this.
my only question is, and this is a very legitimate question, will they meddle in it?
They haven't been. James Gunn said that he legit killed off a major Flash villain. So it's like
James Gunn can whatever.
To me, they didn't meddle with Joker. He was able to create the movie he wanted. They didn't.
That's the only thing I'm concerned about. So like, if they let her do it, if they let her have her artistic integrity.
Well, remember, she's just writing.
From 100%. Yeah, but they can mess with the writing. It's not just like the directors and all of that. They can also mess with the writing and they can mess with the story, right? So as long as they allow her and her crew to tell that story in the way that she wants to tell it, in the way that Journey wants to tell it, and the rest of them, I am there.
Well, their track record so far is that they're letting the directors and writers be creative with their stuff. So
I mean, Matt Reeves has said numerous times he's making the Batman movie he wants. I mean, think about it. Matt Reeves came.
They keep saying that all the time, though. Then later they come out saying the difference.
Matt Reeves is a white man.
Let me say
James
this:
Gunn is a white man. She's a black woman. I have
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I have very little faith.
The last two directors that have complained about Warner Brothers meddling, they were complaining. They weren't 100% hooray when the movies were coming out. Catherine, she was stating there were some issues behind the scenes, and so was David. David just made it more evident of the F up once the whole Snyder Cut came out, and it was just like, well, if you support that, where the hell?
I don't even care about that. I don't even care about that.
When's this supposed to be released?
There's
no release date.
First of all, it's not even confirmed yet. We have to wait until fandom, and that's why I think they'll confirm.
But I would say
it's been confirmed.
No, I mean to me, confirmed by news outlets is one thing. Confirmed by DC themselves is
because Misha Green and Journey, they're on Twitter right now going crazy about it. So
So I'm waiting until fandom when they come on and they tell us, you know, what's going on with that. Go ahead, Dom.
I was gonna say the to play devil's advocate just a little bit. I go to the theaters on a regular basis. Well, now that it's been back open, and I can clearly see, with talking to school teachers on a regular basis and being at the theaters and talking to them, it might not be open much longer because we can kind of see that we might get shut down again. So if they are able to, because a lot of movies, because of the money they spend on marketing, the money they spend on whatever, like or like James Bond getting pushed back again, and the other movies getting pushed back again because they're like, we spent so much money, we have to release it in theaters to recoup just the marketing, right?
Yeah.
So if this one does just the HBO Max and doesn't try to do a full theatrical release, maybe they do if theaters are open and they do the small window, you may make more money because you're gonna have more eyes. Because people right now, I've literally gone to theater 2 or 3 times the past month, and there's no one there. There's 10 people at every showing. Right. The most I've seen was 20. So if this movie
Sure,
was
you're right.
the release tomorrow, it's making nothing because no one's going to the theater.
But
So
that's why I said, from a business
I mean-
standpoint, streaming is the future. Whether it's slow and methodical, it is the future. And at some point, it will catch up to the idea of, I'd rather release it where more people, it's more accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have kids, and it's a whole to-do to get a kid ready to go to a movie theater, and then he's fussy, and then you miss what they're saying. You know how
That's why you
comfortable
don't
it is.
take the kids to the movie theater.
Oh my goodness, Ash. Okay, all right, we're gonna move on that note.
I mean, you have kids, you stay home. That's how I feel. You have kids, you can stay home. Yes, do Disney Plus, do HBO Max, cool. Me, I'm going to the theater. I don't have no kids.
Mhm.
No. I get it, but that's why I said theaters will never die. It's one of those things where it's like people still want to go for the atmosphere of it. But again, I do think the world is shifting to where people want it, to where it's more accessible. You know what I'm saying? To where it's, I can pause it. You know what I'm saying? I can go back. I'm not spending insane amount of money to watch this. You know what I'm saying? So to me, who knows? 2 years from now, when this movie is looking to come out, it being put on streaming could be looked at as, damn, they were smart. Damn. But if theaters are wide open, I'm with you guys. If they're wide open and things are back to normal 2-3 years from now, I'm with you. No excuse. But we don't know what the landscape of this world will be a year from now, let alone 2 or 3 when this would come out. So we got to see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Next year is chock full of DC movies. Black Adam, Flash, The Batman, Aquaman. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? If all those movies hit, let you know, pandemic, no pandemic, people still want to see these characters. If Black Adam is one of those ones that takes that dive, you will have they will clench up and say, "Oh, hell no." All these is coming out on HBO Max.
And
If
I
you
would
are not
be
Batman,
surprised.
you're there. So that's what I'm saying. With Warner Brothers, unfortunately, we got to take it as it's given and appreciate it, because with them, they will freak out and pull the whole plug.
Appreciate what?
Whatever they try to give us.
Oh no, crumbs.
You say that, but not appreciating is how we got where we at now. If people had just shut up and enjoyed BVS,
That was the
Fine,
critics, though.
Not even that.
Was the
It's
critics.
Man of Steel that started it all. People were complaining about
Exactly.
Man of Steel.
The critics were
before.
complaining about it,
I'm
and
just,
then they got everybody complaining about it, and then the
Right.
studio wanted to be a little.
But those were the
What
fans.
happens when you
Those-
get me
those-
talking
those-
about?
all right, Ash, let's get you into Marvel so you can calm down for a second. We got a final trailer for the Eternals. It says final trailer. I think we've only had 2.
Good.
This is brave of Marvel.
Do y'all count the teaser? Because if we count the teaser, then we had 3. We had the teaser, the first official. This one.
If the teaser was more than 50 seconds, then yes, because that's a trailer. If it was more than like a little quick, then yeah, that's like when Matt Reeves was like, "Damn y'all, I ain't got much for y'all. You know, we still filming." And I'm watching that trailer. I'm like,
It was like 2 minutes.
2 minutes and 47 seconds.
Mhm.
Matt Reeves, what the hell is a trailer to you then? Like, we about to see the first 30 minutes for your first trailer? Like, goodness gracious, that's a trailer, not a teaser.
I would not mind that.
Right? Goodness, great. When he said that,
I'll
I'm just
take it
like,
all. I'll
still
take all of
going.
it.
But anyway, Deuces, I'm gonna start off with you, man. What were your thoughts on this this final Eternals trailer?
So I was already on board. Like I was on board from the first trailer. So this one just really amplified it. And then if I'm not mistaken, I was watching mad trailers. Was that Galactus or was I?
No, they're Celestials.
Mm-hmm.
The green one was basically the analyzer, and then you had the red one, which was the judge.
Right.
Okay. And when I saw, because I was watching it, and then I just saw the big figure.
I thought it too. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what happened? So either way it goes, I'm excited. It just showed off more of the powers. Again, I generally only watch the first trailer and then I watch no more because I like to be more surprised. But I wanted to make sure I do my due diligence for this podcast, and yeah, it just amplified it a little bit more. It gave me more excitement for it. I'm here for it. I can't wait to go watch that. Whether it is in a movie or streaming, I'm going to check it out either way.
And let me say this, because they changed so much for the Eternals, even seeing that trailer, I can guarantee you you'll still have question marks. Because the first thing I said to Trevon was, when I watched that at 3 a.m., I'm like, when they said we came here like I'm exaggerating,
7,000 years ago.
7,000 years ago, I'm like, well, hold on. In the comics, the Celestials landed on Earth, experimented, and that's how we got Eternals. So you're saying you existed as superpowered beings before you came to Earth. That's new. Then you saying that the Celestials tasked you with staying here to defeat the Deviants. That's new, because in the comics, their job was to survey Earth, see if it was legit or not.
No, that's not really.
I've been watching some.
It was still to defeat the Deviants in the comics.
No. In the original comics, their job was to see. It was sort of like what Silver Surfer did with Galactus. See if it was worthy enough. And every 1,000,000 years, they would come back, and they would.
Oh, you're talking about the Celestials every year.
Celestials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Eternals.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Celestials sent them there for that. So that changed even a little bit also. So I mean, it's very interesting what they decided to change. But yeah, when I saw that Celestial, and AJ, I'm gonna pass it to you so you can go more into this. I definitely said, damn, if the Celestial looks that good, Galactus is going to make our eyeballs melt. Like we're not even, because again, I was telling Trevon, I don't need Galactus to be that much bigger than what the Celestial looked like, but I need it to be significant.
It needs to be on that scale.
Significant enough to where, like, when you show Anthony Mackie's Captain America, I need him to look this small to Galactus. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he doesn't have to be crazy big, but like, wait, what were you saying, Trevon?
I was messing with you. I said, why Anthony Mackie?
Oh, because you know I don't like Anthony Mackie. You know I don't like him.
I know, but yeah.
You know I don't like him. So I'm like, yeah, if Galactus is coming here to eat, just give him Anthony Mackie. That should be enough. That should be enough.
Oh, that's rude. That is rude.
Move on.
Anthony Mackie, bro.
I don't think he's talented. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
He's a hater.
Yeah,
sure.
You've been hating all night.
I don't shy away from that.
If
you view it as that, I don't shy away from it. I don't. No problem. But AJ, what were your thoughts on this final Eternals trailer?
Orgasmic. Or just straight.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and Jamie, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to you.
Wow.
Greatness.
Felt that.
Look, I've been begging since Fantastic Four. I've been begging for a Galactus, just an accurate version of Galactus. No, we get clouds. Dormammu, we get clouds. What? No, we don't get that. Now, seeing the Celestials for the first time, all of that's possible now. But even though I'm a comic book fan and all that, I'm not even going to get into all that. We can talk about that once the movie gets out. But storytelling wise, just all the actors and the screenwriter, the cinematographer, everything looks great with this trailer. Yep. I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and we get two of the biggest names in Game of Thrones in this movie. I was also a fan of oh my god, I'm losing my mind right now.
Give us a hint.
No, I got it. Chloe Zhao.
Okay.
Ever since Nomadland and The Rider, which came out in 2017, which was really good as well. And just getting everything, just hearing the score, seeing how beautiful the cinematography was, the visual effects were amazing, CGI, everything looks amazing. Seeing Angelina Jolie as Thena looked amazing. Just everything. Just I know Ash was going to be on now right there, but yeah, everything was on point.
Yeah, I love that Feige and Chloe were able to get the goddess of action movies back where she belongs, which is
My
doing
wife.
action
And
My
working
wife.
on the action sequences too. She's
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
yeah. Because I'm telling you, her throne was being come after. I will definitely say that it was being come after. Charlize Theron was on a roll. But Angelina Jolie said, she,
Nope,
you know
time
what?
to come back to work.
You know what? You know what
Mhm.
Eternals is? You remember when Beyonce did that that what was it, the Made in America concert or whatever that was, where like she had that all-time great performance. That's what Angelina Jolie, would you say this is?
Talk about Baychella?
Yes. When she did that,
Oh,
this is Angelina Jolie's version of that, where she's reclaiming, because remember, Rihanna was getting real hot. She was getting to Madonna status, and Beyonce was just like, wait a minute, hold on.
Let me get this
Wait.
right real
She was
quick.
just like, no,
Wait.
sweetheart, hold on.
See, okay, you just starting all the wrong fights
He is.
tonight.
He is.
Anyway,
What Rihanna do to you now?
I didn't say Rihanna did anything. I gave her a compliment. I said she was
No, you
coming to
didn't.
the
That was a
throne.
backhanded compliment.
Ash is on the
backhanded.
defense tonight.
Right? Goodness gracious.
She protecting
Oh my
everything with her life right
goodness.
now.
What I've learned is Ash is part of the Navy and she's a barb.
I defend one, and that is Nicki Minaj. I don't care about nobody else. So,
You know what? You know what's crazy? Because of Trevon, I get an absurd amount of Nicki Minaj on my Twitter timeline. And I always wonder, like, why am I just seeing? And then I
Sorry.
see right above it,
Sorry.
Nerd with the tech retweeted. I'm like,
Yep.
God damn, Trevon. Like, come on, man. It's the same
Turn
thing.
off my
Because of
retweets. Turn
AJ,
off my retweets.
because of
I won't keep
AJ,
doing it.
all I get is what's her name? That's in the Hawkeye show.
Oh,
Kate Bishop, Haley
yeah.
Steinfeld.
Haley
yes.
Steinfeld. I'm just like, why do I get all this Haley Steinfeld? Goddamn AJ. Like, come on, man. Goodness gracious.
If you follow me, you're gonna get an abundance of Issa Rae,
Oh my God.
Dev on stage. Like you're gonna get an abundance of all three of these people.
I'm just like you ever scroll through and you go, I don't even follow these people. It's like, what is this? My algorithm's all messed up. But Ash, I already see that you're excited for Angelina Jolie's return. But how did you like this final trailer?
I really loved it. And I loved it so much. And if you know me, you know I'm a DC person. I watch Marvel movies blind. I don't like, I'll probably, try to find out stuff. But as soon as I finished that trailer, I watched it a second time because it was gorgeous. And then I had to go look up the Deviants. I had to go look up the Celestials, had to go look up the Eternals because I'm all about storytelling. And that's what get movies for me. Can you tell a good story? And I love the story that they're telling so far that I can see. I love the cinematography and how it just like, I'm all about a world building, and I'm all about, can you invest me in this world and not just hope the characters are going to get me in. And so far the cinematography, it was beautiful. I didn't really pay attention to the music. I need to go back and do that, and I probably will. I definitely will, because I need to watch that trailer one more time. But the highlight of
only
that
one
trailer,
more time.
that's a lie, because I'm gonna rewatch that for Angelina Jolie all the time.
Can I make a suggestion? One comic book suggestion. Read it's actually pretty new. Read Karen Gillian's run on Eternals. It came out this year actually.
Is it still ongoing, or is it?
Yes, it's a monthly run.
Is that the one versus Thanos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. You just got me so excited, and then you told me it was monthly. That's like.
Yeah, it's a long wait, but it's definitely worth it.
It's worth it? Okay.
Yes, it's definitely worth
it. I'm adding it to it because I need to replace the Justice League one anyway, because that's about to be done.
And I will say that one thing I do love, Feige always listens to us, right? Whether we know it or not. Because what did everyone say after that last trailer that they? Why? Where were you, dog? Like Thanos was here, Loki was here. Where were you? Where?
Let's answer that in 2 seconds.
And Feige said, you know what? All right, let them know. Like,
it's just one answer. They can have that one. They can have that.
Go ahead, sprinkle that in. Let them know. So I always appreciate that, because it's like, that was a very, very, very important question to ask. Like, what the hell? You know how many of us died? What was you doing? But like I just pictured them somewhere eating popcorn, like, damn, that's just crazy. Like,
I also want to mention this before I just stop talking about this. Kit Harington's character, Black Knight. Yeah. He's not part of the Eternals. Within this movie, he's not going to be a part of this because he's still around, but he's asking all these questions like he's not a part of the team, and he's not in the comics. But when I watched the first trailer, it seemed like that he was going to be a part of the team. But
what I took from it, and I don't want to go too deep into this. I'm gonna pass it to you, Jamie. The way I took it was, they landed, they had their time here, Sprite wiped their minds, they went on to live separate lives, and Icarus's girlfriend, I can't remember her name, she went on to date Kit Harington's character, and they started a life. And then once she remembered who she was, I think she told him, and then I think he's going through the whole.
Oh, you're talking about Ajax. You're talking about Salma Hayek's character.
No. That's not who Icarus was in.
No, but in this trailer, it was Ajax that was talking about what was happening. She was reminding.
No. It was a scene with Black Knight asking, "Where were you during Anna?"
Got you.
Yeah,
okay, I got
you.
You.
She said, "We couldn't do nothing because," and then that's when we see the Celestial. Just like, oh, got you. But Jamie, I want to pass it to you. One, I want to ask you your thoughts on the trailer, and two, are you buying the whole? Well, Dad told me I couldn't go out, so like I couldn't go out. That's why we ain't do nothing. Or do you think they were kind of just like, this shit mad entertaining, like did you see this? Like, come here, come watch this.
I feel like a part of them was probably like, ooh, like, I kind of want to see what happens. Like, gonna do it because after a certain point, you see like, oh, like it doesn't matter what Dad's saying. Like, this is something we should probably get involved with, unless we watch and we see what happens.
Right, because I mean that would be their excuse. Like, we couldn't help. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to, but we couldn't. It's like, yeah, you could have. Yeah, we could have.
Icarus would have soloed everybody, and that wouldn't be much of a movie anyway.
See, that's why we need season 2. That's why we need What If Icarus just came down and said, you know what? I'm tired of all this.
I was worried about that IKEA table. He was.
Oh, I dislike that. I'm sorry.
It was the fall collection too. It was the fall.
That scene.
Yo, do you know how annoying that is to know that a dude that could have saved your life was busy building tables and whatnot, going on shopping trips to IKEA, and it's like, no, all of New York was about to die. What was you doing?
Shopping at IKEA. One of the most important things to do in the world.
That scene was pointless.
That scene was hilarious.
No, it was hilarious.
It was all about vibranium.
Remember, the last trailer was to add levity to the trailer with the whole, Captain Rogers and Stark died. Maybe I could be the leader. So this was kind of just to add a little bit more levity and to let you know it takes place in modern, because he was talking about, like Trevon said, vibranium.
The vibranium.
So it was to balance both, some levity and to remind you it takes place now. Because mentioning stuff like vibranium that we as viewers were only made to know about 5-6 years ago.
I got my theories on that. I think I already talked about it.
We're gonna save those, AJ, when we go a little bit deeper into that. But Jamie, did you want to finish up? I'm sorry.
So I was watching the trailer while you guys were discussing. I didn't have the audio on, so I didn't hear any of the music, but the visuals are pretty stunning. So not surprised. Marvel usually has like pretty good visuals, at least in my opinion. But these, like, they go in a different direction than I think I've seen Marvel do. So I'm interested to see like how this visual style is going to like translate the story in a possibly like different way than they've done previously. But yeah, other than that, I've been trying to stay blind so I can be like fully surprised by this, because I don't know like anything about the Eternals or the what was the other group?
Celestials.
Yeah, the Celestials. I don't know very much about them either. So I'm just preparing myself to learn on release day. So
yeah, they're probably one of the most OP characters in all of Marvel. Right up there with Sentry, right up there with the Watchers. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they kind of utilize the Celestials. Like if they're just, flashbacks, or if Celestials is something pop up sometime soon. But yeah, I will say this is going to be different. I would say Chloe probably had the most freedom since James Gunn did the first Guardians. Because this is something that is somewhat isolated that you're bringing into the main continuity rather than growing it with the main continuity. So I think she's probably had the most freedom since James Gunn's first Guardians, to where, because when you look at it, it's like it doesn't really have the formulaic system of most MCU movies. It feels different, right? Mm-hmm. Guardians had that same feel to where it was just like, I haven't seen anything like this. Seeing Star-Lord flip off the guy, you know what I'm saying? It just felt different, and this feels different. So yeah, so I think she definitely had a lot of freedom for sure. Dom and Trevon, you guys are gonna end this out on this, but Dom, what were your thoughts on this final trailer?
I'm kind of the same as Ash. I love the cinematography. I love the way, like, it just, there's a certain estate that it has that gives it a more, it puts it more, and when you look at it, it puts it more in the realm of the movie that you see winning best film, right? I will say that this film is going to be divisive among fans, I believe, because if you haven't seen anything of Chloe Zhao's, she takes her time. She lets moments breathe. There's silence. It's a little slower. Now, granted, yeah, the producers, Feige and them, are gonna, juice it up a little bit, but I do believe there's gonna be a lot of moments where it's gonna feel more like a cinematic film than just a comic book film. So I think people should go watch some of her work first, so like Nomadland is probably her newest one, and probably a perfect example of what you're gonna see, because the cinematography in that film is very similar. You get wide shots. It's very serene. It's beautiful looking, and so I'm excited for it because these are characters that I'm not super familiar with. I've heard of a few of them, but I don't know their complete history. And then, of course, the cast is like, there's not really too much more you could do better than what this cast already is. And when we first saw the cast release, as soon as I saw Brian Tyree Henry, I was like, I'm watching it. So that's all I need to see.
He is killing the game right
now.
Dude,
he is so good. Like, I think the only thing that which it's very unfortunate for him and us as fans is that the ones who are considered like, oh, the top, is because they have the classic good looks, right? So if he's not chiseled and whatnot, he doesn't get put in that same realm as he should. Right. But that dude is one of the best, like, in the past, like, since he's been on the scene, he's been one of the best. So him alone is why I want to see it.
And can I also give a huge shout out to Donald Glover, because everybody that he sought after to be in Atlanta are stars.
Dude, it's crazy.
All of them are all stars. Like, they're the best of the best.
Yeah.
He's like Quincy out here, but with acting. Like, the man knows how to pick talent. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that's a whole team that goes through picking the cast and whatnot. But that's his show. So I'm sure if he and his brother didn't sign off on it, none of them would have been there, because you got to do your test reads and whatnot. So I still give the credit to him, the most creative man in Hollywood, Donald Glover, 100%. All right, Trevon, before I go to you, because Shekinah is about to come in, I want to go to this next topic really quick before Deuces has to hop off.